Welcome back to Friendboys Music Therapy, the podcast where each week we listen to an album and we've got what you need.
And this week we are listening to Harry Styles' Fine Lines.
Yes.
Let's hear it. The intro.
Hello, this is Friendboys Music Therapy. Take a seat and we'll be with you shortly.
Oh man, so good to be back.
Oh, it's fantastic. This album is brought to us by Columbia Records. Thank you so much for releasing that to us. We could not be more appreciative. Now, what do we need to know about this album?
We need to know that this is his second album after splitting from One Direction.
Yeah. May they rest in peace.
Apparently all the other guys are like just waiting for Harry to stop doing his solo project so that they can bring the band back together. Because obviously he's like the most successful one.
Yeah.
Other than Zayn, who doesn't want to be a part of it. But
As like the four of them or included with Harry as well? They want him back.
Oh, they want him back, but he's like, no guys, I want to do my own.
I thought Zayn was the bad boy that didn't want to be part of it.
No, but like Harry's not saying I don't want to ever do it. He's just like, I'm really enjoying my own thing at the moment and like it's going pretty well and like I like the music, so
and it's way better than
anything else controversial, uncontroversial?
Very controversial.
Oh,
you're not gonna like that he did this, but according to Wikipedia, he admitted to using psychedelic drugs during the recording of this album, which is just awful.
we can bleep that.
We should, yeah. I probably shouldn't even be spreading that out there because,
all right.
Yeah. Okay. He's an addict.
That changes everything.
It puts a real new light on this album.
So consider that as we go through the record.
Yeah, he was out of his mind.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Let's get into this record and start with Musical Musings and me.
Musical Musings.
Musical Musings.
Musical Musings.
Yes. All right. As I am wont to do, I start us off with listening to the first record on the song. It's a song called Golden.
First record on the song, don't get that wrong.
Don't get it twisted. It's like a dreamy pop rock kind of thing. And I suppose it's to be expected based on his last record. Like it was definitely a rock inspired record. Weird that he didn't just start a band in a way. Anyway,
he's like playing 60s rock. Like
totally. Yeah. Anyway, it sounds like this. It's a cool way to start the record. Oh man,
it makes me thirsty, that song.
Loving that.
Yeah.
And do you know a band called Holy Holy?
I know the name, but no.
It kind of reminds me of their kind of music, just like feel good, like driving pop rock music. All about that.
Yeah, it's very guitar driven. The whole
Totally. He wrote the whole thing with a guy called
Mitch
Kid Harpoon, aka Thomas Hull, and he is a co-writer and co-producer on every single song on the record. I'm guessing he plays a lot of the guitar parts.
I know there's a guy called Mitch. I forgot to take down his name, but Mitch, who previously was like working a part-time job, prior to this album recently, and then Harry somehow knows him beforehand or whatever, got him on board, and I think he does a lot of the guitar stuff on it.
Fuck
we need to look more into that.
We do.
Yeah.
We should have.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
So pretend he doesn't exist. It was that guy.
Yeah. Next track I wanted to play was from the song Lights Up, which was the first single released on the record. Quite a cool, moody video clip. I don't know if you saw that one.
No, I haven't. I've only seen the Adore You one. Anyway.
But there's this part in the song.
Sorry, is this the one where they're in like the nightclub or something and there's just like people touching him everywhere?
I don't think it's a nightclub. I think they're outside.
Oh.
But yeah, they're touching him.
Yeah, lots of naked people touching. Yeah.
Where was I? There's a part of this song where they use this minor to major modulation, and it's really like grabs your attention, and they like kind of like ram it home a little bit. And for me, I can't decide whether I like it or I hate it. Like I appreciate the fact that they're trying interesting things, but I mean the chorus of the song is dope. I really like that part. But before that, it kind of annoyed me a little bit.
Lights up and they know you are, do you know you are?
then
Step into the light, so bright sometimes. I'm not ever going back.
step into the. So like,
Typical minor to major modulation. That's what I couldn't help but think the whole time. Yeah.
you know what? But it
I
is-
do know now.
But
yeah.
maybe it is an interesting point for me to ask as someone who maybe isn't thinking about like the technicality of it when you're listening to it. Just pretend,
I know.
pretend that you're this type of person.
Imagine I'm an amateur in the music
Yeah.
world. Yeah. Take me back.
What goes through your head when you're listening to that? Or like, do you think about it at all, or are you just like, oh, that's something?
No, that didn't occur to me at all. I think when you specifically point out a technique like that and then say this is why, or well, you didn't say why yet, but this is what it is, I start thinking about it more, but I don't think I would have noticed it.
Okay, because for me, it's just like,
Yeah,
it like almost makes my skin crawl
Yeah.
when it's happening. And not that I don't like challenging music, but
Is that what it's like breaking rules a little bit?
yeah,
of like-
yeah, basically
right.
breaking conventions.
No, I see what you mean. It kind of like it's jarring.
Yeah, totally. It's like almost the record is skipping.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not like an amazing thing that they've done, but it's. I think it was.
Now you can show off to your friends who don't know minor to major modulations.
Totally. The next track I wanted to play is from the song "Falling."
Mm-hmm.
Basically, just the dude can sing. The guy can sing. He's got a really nice voice. However, this I don't know if it actually comes up in this section of the song. The song "Falling" is a really beautiful song, although the metaphors are quite stretched. It's like trying too hard to write a clever love song. Anyway, "Falling." Here we go.
What am I now? What am I now? What if I'm someone I don't want around? I'm falling again, I'm falling again, I'm falling.
Yeah, it can sing.
He kills it.
Yeah,
And,
I love that song. I think it's great.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
It is a really beautiful song. There's just a couple of lines here where I'm like, but yeah. What if I'm someone you don't want around? What if I'm someone I don't want around?
Yeah,
Something
I like that
Yeah,
line.
nice. Yeah, exactly. So it's, don't get me wrong. It's not.
Yeah,
cool.
cool. Good. On the same page. Yeah.
Let's move along now to a song called "To Be So Lonely."
Yeah.
The thing that struck me about this,
Can I just quickly ask you, is this the one with the
Absolutely
weird
not.
guitar thing at the start?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about?
yeah.
I don't know what this is. Please.
So, the thing that struck me, and obviously you and probably everyone, like about the song, is they're using this from my memory, it's a Hawaiian style guitar strumming,
like one of those little toy
like
ones.
a ukulele, and
Yeah.
they're strumming it in the same way that it would be on a song, on Hawaiian music that I've heard, and it's something that I haven't really heard before in a pop song or like a modern music production.
Yeah.
I thought it was done really well, like quite tastefully.
And it's not like it's a solo that they've thrown in to do it. It is the driving force of the song.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like this.
I just hope you see me in a little better light. Do you think
Yeah.
it's
I can't believe it doesn't annoy me to no end.
enough to
Yeah,
just
yeah, right.
Like-
It's done super tastefully.
Yeah.
Because it could, the ukulele is probably my least favorite instrument. I loathe it so much.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I don't know how that's managed to work. And I feel like that's right up my alley for things that would normally wind me up.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah.
It's almost like that, that Hey Soul Sister song?
Exactly. Oh, that's what it is. Oh,
Yeah, anyway, so that was cool.
I'm not. Now it's gonna.
But
annoy me.
again, super guitar driven. This,
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually don't know whether he plays guitar much at all.
he does. I know that he does play guitar because
to write
at the
songs and
end
stuff.
of Cherry, there's a recording of him playing guitar with his ex-girlfriend Camilla Rowe speaking French.
Right.
Yeah, and that's just like taken from a recording that he had. So he does play guitar, but I do think I'm pretty sure that this guy Mitch did that bit as well.
Right, because there's some pretty good guitar playing on this record, and I would be surprised if it was him because he's never
It's
whatever. Yeah.
technically very
Yeah, exactly, and that's not his strength for sure. Here we go onto a song called Sunflower. It's called like Sunflower Part 6 or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
Volume 6, yeah.
Volume 6. Did you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I really like it.
Okay, well let's listen to it and then we'll get into it.
That's my main thing.
There's also another really dope guitar part in this song. comes towards the end of this soundbite.
I've got your face hung up high in the gallery. Out of this shape, sunflower, sunflower.
Oh man, I love it.
Your flaws.
Squidgy bass.
Yeah, exactly. They're like,
Yeah, I don't know how all this stuff and like the overly joyous like sunflower bits, all these things are like a recipe for songs that would annoy me. But
Yeah, totally.
I ended up being like, and
Well-
again with that weird little flingy guitar with the squidgy bass, I'm just like, I can't believe I like it. But it's,
so this is the only song on the record that wasn't done with Thomas Hull.
right.
And there's a couple other collaborators, but this was co-written exclusively and produced exclusively by a guy called Greg Kurstin.
Mm-hmm.
Now he has done things like, you know, the Kelly Clarkson song "Stronger." What doesn't kill you?
Oh, yeah.
"Hello" by Adele,
I'm a big fan. Yeah.
"Chandelier" by Sia.
Big fan.
So like
Yeah.
he's got some.
Like the biggest songs of the last.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. He's sold like 85 million records.
Right.
And he produced that entire track, all the instruments.
Wow.
He plays everything. And that song really rocks. Like
You're into
it's
it too?
so it's so fun.
Yeah. It's almost like a souvenir song. It's like so sweet and sickly and like I don't know, niche. It's like, it sounds like a bit of a joke, but it just works really, really well.
It makes you feel good and it works the first time you hear it. That's the thing that struck me when I was listening through the album. I was like, that song stood out, and I was like, I went back and just played that song again straight away.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do a spoiler. That was my second favorite. I was going to mention it as my favorite, but like, yeah, it's really good.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
It's
man.
a spoiler. You got to keep them keen.
However,
By
there's
treating them well.
a song called "Treat People with Kindness."
Yeah.
And at about 2 minutes and 20 seconds into this song, what the fuck is going on?
Here we go now.
Like, I got nothing.
That song, apparently all of his merch, I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably know this as well, but apparently all of his merch is like, that's his like,
Catch tagline.
Yeah.
Treat people with kindness.
that's the thing
Which
that
is
he
a-
always has on his merch. Yeah.
Which is a pretty dope tagline.
and he's always intended to write the song, but he always felt like he wasn't ready. And then some mentor was like, just do it. And this was the song.
Who's this mentor? I like, it's obviously a tongue-in-cheek song.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it?
No. No, like I know what you mean, because like obviously musically it's like over the top. It's almost like a play school song.
Yeah, totally.
So like, yeah, I guess so. But I think the message is genuine. But like a few of these songs, like Watermelon Sugar, it's like you're kind of pushing the boundary of,
What good lyrics.
are we serious here? Like,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I had no time for that song, to be honest.
I agree with you. Yeah. Yeah.
And the last thing I wanted to play for you guys, for y'all, is the end of the song "Fine Line," which is the title track of the record. And I just wanted to point out that for a solo artist who doesn't seem to be playing instruments as his main thing, there's a lot of space on this record for instrumental parts.
Yeah.
And it was one of the cool things we pointed out about the Coldplay record. Was it? And Coldplay, I think, did it more so. They gave the platform to other people that they're collaborating with. But I think it's quite a cool thing from this record as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just wanted to play the end of the song "Fine Line" because there's a really like big horn part and like it really gets going. Yeah, it sounds like this. It sounds like this. So good. Like, yeah, loving that.
It's the song he got asked if he could only listen to one of his songs forever more, it would be that song. I
Really?
think he said it's the song he's most proud of.
That song is a real slow builder. Anyway, yeah. Those are all the things I wanted to speak to you about. I hope you
today.
enjoyed it.
Thank you for coming.
All right, let's move on to the next section.
All right. Welcome to Clangers, the section of the video each week where I make fun of the lyrics on the album.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get upset. This is how it goes.
That's my job. All right.
Clangers. Clangers.
And this week, the album's really hard to make fun of. A big part of the reason for this is that a lot of the songs that are not about his breakups are, maybe inspired by his psychedelic experiences, fruit-based. No, a lot of the songs are kind of silly. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. From the song Watermelon Sugar, for example, here's the chorus.
Watermelon sugar high, 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 watermelon sugar high.
Someone more cynical might say that they're not the best lyrics.
They could say that.
Yeah. They're not the best lyrics, I'll say. They're not the best lyrics, but obviously it doesn't matter sometimes because it's still a kind of fun thing to sing. That's hard to say.
The annoying thing for me this week has been that song has just been in my head all week. I didn't want it. For me, it's not my favorite song on the record. I'm gonna go.
Me neither.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now.
Yeah.
But
I can't believe you said it, but I agree with you.
but that song has just been in my head all week. And the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. Like, because it's so catchy that like I see what you've done here.
And even just like the simple tool of repetition.
Exactly.
Just like over and over
like,
and
God
over.
damn it still works on me. Like,
Exactly. But you can't help but have a little boog.
Yeah.
Now, Watermelon Sugar, what the fuck's he talking about?
Do you know?
I've got two theories.
All right.
Probably one of them is right, or maybe both of them are right. A few of the songs definitely are about one of his exes, Camilla Rowe, who is a French supermodel. She did an interview in 2017 with Elle where she revealed that one of her favorite books is named In Watermelon Sugar. Now, that seems to me, call me a conspiracy theorist, like too great a coincidence to not have some relevance.
Wow.
Because I've never heard the word watermelon sugar
Totally.
before. I mean, obviously it's a book, so some people know it.
Yeah.
The other theory is that it's a colloquialism for oral sex.
Oh dear.
Look, I didn't.
Well, I'm going with the first one because the second one's disgusting.
I know, but he's off the rails.
You're a detective.
I know. Zane wrote, I know. Zane wrote, the famous BBC reporter, did an interview with him. BBC Radio.
Guardian.
No, he's not. He's from the British radio station. Anyway.
Radio 1.
Radio 1. Did an interview where he asked him, and Harry Styles neither confirmed nor denied.
Classic
if it
Harry
was about that.
Styles.
Bit cheeky.
Yeah.
And he did it with that classic Harry cheeky smile. Anyway, Watermelon Sugar. That's
Yeah.
what I think about that.
Okay, fair enough.
Moving on to Lights Up.
Thank you.
They're a depraved song out of here. There are a few songs on this album that are lyrically, in my opinion, really, really good because they're really genuine and they seem to be very specifically about breakups and they're quite nostalgic. They're quite sad sometimes, like Falling is a great example. But there are some times on this album where he's a little bit more vague.
Okay.
And it seems as though he's just sort of like describing these generic situations that aren't so clear.
Okay. Like being on psychedelic drugs?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Let's hear it from Lights Up.
What do you mean? I'm sorry, by the way. Never coming back down. Can't you see I could but wouldn't stay? Wouldn't put it like that.
None of that makes any sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it sounds great the first time you hear it, but when you say it out, what do you mean? I'm sorry, by the way, never coming back down. Can't you see? I could, but wouldn't stay. Wouldn't put it like that. Like, that's
Yeah.
terrible. But he kind of gets away with it, as he often does.
Sure. And like, one of the interesting things for this record is that, and I mentioned this to you during the week, his songwriting, the lyrics at least, seem to be quite old fashioned. And he's
Yeah.
definitely like making some sort of throwback in terms of his production style.
Yeah.
Because it's, quite, as you said, like 60s, 70s rock oriented
The
as
boat
well.
that rocked.
Soundtrack. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But like, he's very, and I guess it's inspired by that like psychedelic thing as well.
Yeah.
Like the lyrics are often very vague and like quite, for lack of a better word, like flowery and like expressive, but not necessarily being specific. Like one of the things that characterizes modern music and the lyrics of modern music is it's very conversational. It's things that you would actually say to someone. It's clever, but they're things that I guess would relate to people because it's you like almost describe like sentences that you would say to someone if you were breaking up with them.
Exactly.
Whereas this album doesn't really have that. It's very like emotive and image driven.
I think there's 3 categories.
Oh yeah.
One of them is that there's like the example that I just played and the next one I'm going to play which is just like a generic love thing. The second one, I think there is some examples of that, like on Falling and like, he talks about going to that favorite cafe with his girlfriend. I think people understand that. And then there's just the like fruity ones, which is just like fun, light pop. Sunflower.
And weirdly enough, I think he does the non like descriptive ones really quite well. It fell short for me when it was the really specific ones. I thought they weren't like quite as well defined as
this is like you and this is like me. Like
totally.
We're clashing.
Totally.
I'm the opposite. I didn't like the generic and I really liked the specific.
Because there was the one about the coffee shop and it's like, the coffee shop's run out of coffee and
we've run out of things to say.
No, it says like the coffee shop's out of coffee and it hurts me because we've run out of things to say. And it's like trying to make a link between like, but the coffee shop's not going to run out of coffee. Like
I don't think it said that.
I'm pretty sure it did.
We need a fact check. But yeah, I think it was
fact check that. You roll.
Another example of the sort of generic songwriting that I was sort of talking about comes from the song She. Let's hear it.
She lives in daydreams with me. She's the first one that I see, and I don't know why. I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
It's open for debate. I thought it meant coffee is like your coffees are out.
No one says that.
Coffee is out.
Coffee is up. Coffee's up.
Coffee
That's what
up.
I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
I've been there. Yeah, right.
It says the coffee is out at the Beechwood Cafe, and it kills me because I know we've run out of things to say. You can see what he's trying to do.
Yeah,
but it's just like
if that is a link, I totally agree. Yeah. But that whole idea about sitting there at a cafe and running out of things to say, I think is very
totally
relatable.
Totally,
and sort of like the end part of a relationship.
Yeah, and if that's what I'm saying is like that would be a very modern lyric.
Sure.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm right.
So you're right. Sorry, I thought the camera had stopped. But it has not. We're going to move on to Canyon Moon.
No. You just played She. Did you want to talk about it?
No, that's just a generic example that he does. She lives in daydreams. I don't know who she is. You should. Canyon Moon.
Especially if she's your girlfriend.
Yeah. It's sort of like this attempt to write something that's like mysterious to him from Canyon Moon.
The world's happy waiting. Doors yellow, broken blue. I heard Jenny saying, go get the kids from school. And I keep thinking back to a time under the canyon moon.
And again, a bit later in that song.
Quick pause in conversation. She plays songs I've never heard. An old lover's hippie music. Pretends not to know the words. And I keep thinking back to the time under the canyon.
Yeah, nice. Love that little bit at the end.
Yeah, we disagreed as to whether or not this is a clanger because it says, a quick pause in conversation. She plays songs I've never heard. An old lover's hippie music pretends not to know the words. Now, yeah, I understand we did talk about this. I think that the idea of somebody playing you their music and pretending not to know the words has never happened. Because that makes no sense. It's not an impressive thing not to know the words of a song. Like, why? Anyways, but you think that it's
My argument was that it was like a cute thing where maybe they were like driving in the car and she was like, oh, what do you think about this song? And
I've
like,
never heard it.
And no, but like was
See?
like trying to judge his reaction because
Yeah.
she like didn't know whether he'd like it or not, but secretly she would sing along usually.
I do know what you mean. Like, it means a lot to her, but she's not sure if he'll like it, so
Yeah.
she sort of doesn't pretend that she likes it as much as she does.
Exactly.
Or he.
Or they.
Or they. But I think it's bullshit.
Fair enough.
But anyway, that's just a little funny one. From the song, which we've talked about already, which is kind of an odd song, Treat People with Kindness.
Don't kill them with kindness, treat them with kindness.
Absolutely. You don't want to kill them.
Or do you?
I think this is the only true clanger, which is saying quite something on this album.
All right.
If our friends all pass away, it's okay.
It's like something from a nightmare sequence. It's just
It's so weird. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't quite believe it when I.
it's like one of
heard
those
it.
weird Beatles songs that's just about complete nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, but it's just a weird sentence to throw in. If our friends all pass away, it's okay. Sounds awful.
Yeah, that's literally the worst thing that could happen.
If our friends all pass away, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. You'd have
As
to
long
be a
as you
psycho.
just treat other people with kindness.
Yeah. But finishing on a serious note, I do think that generally speaking, the lyrics on this album are excellent.
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 That's a strong word.
I think it's fun. I think the moments where he tries to write something, sadder, that reflect those like darker moments in his life, I think are really special. I think they're nice. And yeah,
Okay.
I don't need to say much else, do I?
No,
Who
you
cares?
shouldn't. I'd rather you didn't.
So, to shut me up, why don't we move on to the ratings and a review?
So good.
All right, it's time for the ratings and review
So
section.
Good. So good. No.
Yes.
It's time for your rating now.
And in the ratings review section, we always start with our favorite song off the album, the moment you've all been waiting for, Dale's favorite song.
Sunflower.
Was it?
Sunflower. So good. I love that song, man. I thought the production was fantastic. I love the like sunflower, like the different vocal like lines that came in. Yeah. Super fun.
It's a lot of fun, that song.
Yeah,
and not one
absolutely.
that I thought I would be into, but I agree. I think it's an excellent song. My favorite song is actually Adore You. I just wanted to emphasize that there was another song. Adore You is a great song. It's so catchy, but it's the lead single off the album. Everyone knows it already. Adore You is a sick song, but I think Sunflower is also excellent.
Nice.
Now we get
Now we get
what's our least favorite
now we get
song?
naughty.
Yeah.
My least favorite song is Treat People with Kindness, just because it's fine to have a
respectable
bit
choice.
of a, obviously you can have a bit of a fun song on the record. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I thought it was a bit dumb. Like I thought if his message was this actually like treat people with kindness, maybe do it in a way that was a bit less like of a piss take.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, I do. I agree. Like it's hard. You can't really take that song seriously.
Totally,
You
yeah.
can't like play it to somebody and be like, "How good's this?" It's like it's not that good.
Yeah,
Like it's not nice to
exactly.
listen to.
Yeah.
My least favorite song was "She," and I don't know. Like, okay, so this song is probably the most heavily guitar driven song.
Yeah,
on guitar.
it's like a psychedelic rock song.
And I think this actually might be the song that oh yeah, that's right. The guy that recorded the guitar recorded it while they were on drugs, didn't remember what they played. They played it back and they were like, yeah, this is sick.
This is the best thing ever.
Exactly. Yeah. And it sounds like that. It sounds like this like psychedelic, it's like 5-minute song. It's like 5-minute song. And then the last 2 to 3 minutes is just like,
Just jamming.
which is not my favorite thing. If anybody knows me and my musical taste,
Yeah.
a guitar solo is stretching it. A 3-minute outro
Totally.
to guitars is very boring. And I also do think that it's not the place for it. Like this might sound a little bit critical, like, on a Harry Styles pop like album, which is fun. It does take a lot of influences. I don't think that song really belongs. And that's why it's my least favorite song.
All right. Strong words.
So get it off. Ratings. Score.
I'm interested to hear what you think about
You want me to go
this one.
first?
I'd like for you to go first, yeah.
I am going to give it an 8.
That's a good score.
It is a high
That's a good
score,
score.
one of my highest in recent memory. I think it's got a lot of good songs. I think there's a few songs that you can come back to. I don't think there are many weak songs, probably just 2. I would say the 2 that we highlighted. I think the rest of them are all worth a listen, and yeah, it's catchy, and I like it. And goddamn, his voice is good.
Yeah, he's got a good voice.
Oh,
He's likable.
incredible. Yeah,
I'm close, but I didn't go so far. I think like I'm gonna give it a 7, and like that's not a bad score at all. There are some dope songs on this record. I think it's a really good album as a whole.
Yeah.
It's just I think the main problem is like maybe the lyrics aren't. It's not my style of songwriting, so I didn't like necessarily connect emotionally with a lot of the songs. I thought.
I didn't. Can I? Yeah. Speaking on that, like for me, the breakup songs were really good. Yeah, right. And so that's why I think it pushed it up for me, is because those moments were, I think, really quite well done.
I can totally see that, and like it's a really good album. I was surprised by this, and so I was surprised by the One Direction album that we did, and
way back when,
and I'm more surprised by this because we covered the last Harry Styles album, and it's really interesting to see. He's definitely a much better songwriter than he was then.
And he's found, if not completely, but he's found more of his like lane.
Totally.
Yeah.
And like, I'm almost like excited for the next record because if he's, if this is a progression thus far, like I really like what he's doing. I think it's sick.
I agree. I think it's a great, I'm glad that he's there. I'm glad that he exists.
Yeah, totally. And like, not to throw shade on the other dudes, but like Louis and Liam and, Niall,
Zayn.
They've all kind of gone down Zayn has done a bit more his own thing.
I agree, yeah.
But the other guys have all kind of gone down the like pretty much radio pop sort of
run-of-the-mill pop star.
Yeah.
Let's write you an album.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Whereas he's actually trying to do something that it seems like he really believes in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I totally agree.
Maybe I might even feel a bit harsh giving it a 7, but for the reasons I explained, yeah.
Do you think, and this was one criticism that I had, I didn't think that any song was as big as A Sign of the Times, which I was a big fan of that song.
I didn't like A Sign of the Times.
Oh, okay, well then yes, probably would be the answer for you.
I
still think that's his best song.
Man, yeah, I don't know. Now that I'm talking about it more, as you say, there's two weakish songs on the record, which aren't like abysmal.
No, they're fine. Yeah.
It's a good album. Yeah. Tight, good album.
You don't get many tight
and he
albums
keeps it
these
small.
days.
And it's one of these things. Like, what was the last record we listened to where it was
Camila
like,
Cabello?
Yeah, and there was like 50 songwriters, and they were just all trying to write hits. He's got like 2 that he works with all the time. Yeah, and it means you have a cohesive like.
And there's still
project.
a lot of variety on this album.
Yeah,
it's not as though it's one track whatsoever. It's just like it's just a It's a what's the word? Cohesive.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right. Good. The fan mail section.
Oh, yeah, we got to do it this week. I think we forgot last week, but we got some amazing comments in this week thanks to Lana Del Rey video.
So if you haven't seen the Lana Del Rey review that we did, don't bother watching the review. Oh, actually do watch the review because you'll realize how unfairly we're being treated. But anyway, the comments section is incredible. There's one, shall I read both of them?
Yeah, give them context.
So the first comment comes from Travis Carter, and he says, "This video should be titled 2 idiots who don't know how to interpret the meaning of songs."
Which would be terrible for SEO.
Absolutely. That has 71 likes, that comment, including one from us.
Yeah, I like that one.
But then someone replied to that saying, and this is Nod RA, great name, idiot. He said, "That's too much of a recognition for them to be called idiots. They're just 2 sad, lonely people chasing clout. The blonde guy..."
That would be me. No.
Strawberry blonde.
Oh, right, sorry.
I'll give him that. The blonde guy looks exactly like a John Doe who committed suicide. The body is at the morgue I'm working at. Whoa. And his friend looks exactly like a man who OD'd a couple of weeks ago. This was sent in to us by Dane, a friend of the show.
Thanks, Dane.
Thanks to Dane for letting me know about that. But that has got to be the harshest flame I've ever received in my life.
I feel like it's kind of threatening.
It's kind of threatening. The guy works at a morgue and he's like,
"You look like some dead bodies I've seen at work."
Fuck me. It's so good. Oh, I don't know what to say. Literally comparing us to 2 corpses that he works with.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Also, I've caught like a lot of sun recently. Like, I don't think I'm looking that corpse-ish.
no. Yeah, I mean,
And
also-
so have you, to your credit.
man, that line. We must have. We got to look back at that video because we must have
We're going
said
to.
some heinous things. If that. Anyway, I think that's it from us this
Yeah.
week. Tell a friend about the pod. Tell an enemy about the pod. That way, you're kind of getting a good cross section of society. Subscribe, like, give it as a gift this Christmas to your family and
Co-workers.
and
Your
we'll
pet.
and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
All right, bye.